Hello everyone, welcome to the Virtual Funcup Championship. This round number 4 from this circuit de Ledenon. We come to France. 2 races coming up this evening, 30 minutes apiece. We are into qualifying, now live, 25 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock. 24 drivers with us this evening, 2 new faces as well. We'll get to those in just a second. At the moment, we're looking at our championship leader. We've got a 3-way fight for the title as we enter the second half of the season. Riley Phillips leads the way on 392 points after his win last time at Alton Park. Piers Stockton is then in second place and second in this qualifying session so far, just 7 thousandths of a second back. Max Leonard, he is in third place. Joining me tonight, as ever, first of all, Guillaume Valarez. Guillaume, how are you doing?
I'm good, Chris. Good evening, everybody. Bonsoir à toutes et tous. Good evening, everyone. Happy to be at your side once again. This is round 4 of the Virtual Funcup Winter Series, and once again, we're back in French territory in Ledenon.
And also joining us, guest for this round, Henry Beaudette. Henry, the familiar voice of karting world and British and European, I'd say as well. Henry, how are you doing?
Oh, thank you very much for having me, Chris Guillaume. I'm doing very well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be on board with you guys for this round. It's a new experience for me. I'm totally immersing myself in the virtual world, and I can't wait for us to get going.
And the lights are on, and we're pretty much ready to go here for round number 4, the first of 2 races coming on. Here are the lights. And they're away, and it looks to be a good start from Riley Phillips as he leads us down towards turn number 1. You can see Max Leonard tucking into second place there. Piers Stockton in third, and Max Leonard draws alongside and is going to be on the lead of the race, I think, by the time we come out of turn 2, and he is. So Leonard down the inside of Riley Phillips, and the pole sitter and championship leader, not for the first time, has been unable to hold on to his pole position. Piers Stockton goes into second place. Then we have Riley Phillips down in third, and it's very close for 4th place. We can see Nico Perez coming under pressure there from Tom Kemping. They're side by side behind that as well. Philippe Loriquet and Ian Vermans, the top 3 are breaking away. Tom Kemping in 5th place under all sorts of pressure here. There you can see he's got Philippe Loriquet to his outside. Ian Vermans just behind that. Then it's Axel Sawyers, Lancelot Alstein. We had an incident in the background. That's Jay Shepherd. Gets recovering. Should be able to stay within the top 20. But a good start from Max Leonard there, Guillaume. And he's got himself straight into the lead of the race.
Indeed. Et on est parti, chers amis, pour la première des 2 épreuves de la soirée à Ledenon. 1 demi-heure à courir, 1 demi-heure à tenir pour chacun de nos 22 concurrents. Et vous l'avez vu, un excellent départ de la part de Maxime Lénard au volant de la Evo 3 numéro 50. Et la bagarre pour la 2e place qui est déjà fait rage entre Piers Stockton et Riley Phillips. Riley Phillips en 3e position avec la Evo 3 numéro 994 à l'attaque de son compatriote avec un départ pas forcément aussi heureux qu'il l'aurait espéré. Riley Phillips qui s'est lancé en pole position. Et Maxime Lénard, eh bien, s'est montré à son avantage dans les premiers virages, le premier triple gauche de ce premier tour à Ledenon, et a pris l'avantage avec une petite touchette là-bas. Et malheureusement, Jay Shepherd qui va de partir à contre-sens, semble-t-il. Xavier Vell, le numéro 14, et contact là-bas juste à la fin du premier tour. Ça commence très très fort ici à Ledenon. Oh là là, c'est de nouveau un contact. Xavier Vell qui tente de se remettre dans le bon sens de la piste, le numéro 445. Mais ça ne passait vraiment pas, malheureusement, comme il l'aurait espéré, puisque plusieurs touchettes s'en sont suivies. Xavier Vell qui dégringole, ainsi que Eric Stenling, je pense, qui dégringole en 21e position. Et il fait le premier tour très très chahuté, alors que devant, Piers Stockton et Riley Phillips sont en pleine bagarre pour la 2e position, avec déjà 8 dixièmes de retard sur Maxime Lénard qui tente de prendre la poudre d'escampette. Thank you, Chris.
Henry Beaudette with us in the commentary box. Henry, when I said this could feel like a bit like a repechage and that last corner could be dangerous, did you see where I was going with it now?
You certainly weren't wrong, Chris. An excellent start from line out there, and Riley Phillips there trying to now find a way past Piers Stockton. He looks like he's got a good run coming up the hill. That's out of Virage du Pont, up that steep hill to the Virage de Carras. But Stockton holds on. Further back in the pack, I noticed that the 445, Xavier Vell, I mean, the half spin coming out of the final corner obviously wasn't great, but then recovering into oncoming traffic, not once but twice, that was really the icing on his very messy first lap cake, I have to say. Down in 22nd position. I have to feel sorry for the 2 drivers that were harpooned by Mr. Beale as he sort of tried to recover. But the top 3 drivers getting away. There's James Shepherd there on your screens very, very briefly. He had a bit of an agricultural moment half around the opening lap as well. But there's starting lap number 3, Leinart opening his lead as Phillips grabs second by the way. I think that's number 994, Riley Phillips moving into second. So as you were saying, Chris, extremely exciting up front and somewhat autumn frantic back down in the middle of the pack.
You say now, Riley, I thought he and Stockton would work together here, but that doesn't seem to be the case, and they're only Henry letting Leonard extend his lead. It's gone from a second now to 1.6.
And that just goes to show how quickly, like any form of racing, when you're battling together, when you're side by side to the corners, when you're taking the optimum racing line off one another, it's great for the audience, either whether they're trackside or virtual audience, watching online. But it's good excitement for them, but it's not great for overall lap time. But it's a great view there from Stockton's car, as he just the idea of the camber of some of these corners. That's a turn 5, the Virage du Pont. I think the Virage du Pont is going to be somewhere where we see a lot of action and incidents. And in all 22 drivers still running.
Jean-Baptiste down in 16th place now, just been passed by David Chatelain. There you can see definitely, well, there's Funcup for you. You're going to have two cars either side of you at any time. That can be exactly what happens. They're going well so far. And Guillaume, you had a quick chat with him before the race. Just about wrapped that interview up in time. I think he had 15 seconds to get himself ready at the end. But there you go. No rest for the wicked. It doesn't look like it's got any easier for him out there on track.
No, indeed not. Actually, it was very close indeed. I actually didn't look at the clock while we were talking, and I just see your message. I was like, oh my God, we have to wrap this up right now.
Yeah, usually, Martin Brundle would have been kicked off the grid about 3 minutes earlier than that, because by that time the cars are revving up and you're running for the hills. But he's feeling good about this evening.
Yeah, actually, and so I can mention this, what he told me earlier in the interview. This is actually the first time that he's driving in this particular sort of series, actually, and he's part of the virtual world, and he's doing a lot in France to promote virtual racing, and as I said earlier, try to create a bridge between virtual and real racing, and he's more used to GT3 cars, actually. And this is quite the first time he's driving an Evo 3 Funcup cars in the virtual races. So, and the first time as well in Ledenon. So, as you said, as we can see, he's doing quite all right for himself, going around the inside in the corner number 5, the corner of Dupont. And that is gonna put him. Let's see where he is. Up to number 33.
He's just gone by Richard Johnson, hasn't he? Who's the other new entry for this evening?
Yeah. Up to 15, yes.
Good stuff. So Richard Johnson, the two newcomers there going at it as they make their way downhill now, steep incline downhill, and Jean-Baptiste getting past Real Racer. So they've got their own private little battle going on. Great move down the inside there. Johnson gets back down the inside, and once again on the exit, Jean-Baptiste is going to go back through. So this is fantastic stuff, Henry. This is like Honda Cadets, isn't it, around PFI? It's absolutely fantastic racing.
Absolutely right, Chris. So impressed watching this battle. We're looking at 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, around the tail end of the top 20. There's Xavier Villon. That car has been in the walls a little bit so far, but he's recovering well. So obviously the number 445, the Beetle with the Tech Pro graphics on the side of the car there, the Tech Pro backed entry, recovering well. So he's obviously very quick when he's pointing the right way. And then across the line, you're following one of our newcomers in the 24. That's Jean-Baptiste Angelini. Back up at the front though, looks like we've got a battle for the lead, Chris and Guillaume there, because Riley Phillips, the 994, is closing in on Max Line, and it's taken him a couple of laps, but we're on lap 8 now, and guys, I'm thrilled to be watching my first virtual battle for the race lead. It's possible, but back up at the front, a great scrap lead, Linehardt and Phillips going at it, 4.5 seconds now in front of Stockton. So a great example of two drivers really in the zone. They like the circuit, they obviously like the flowing nature of this track, the undulating nature, and they're pushing each other away from the competition. They say nearly 5 seconds back to Stockton, and that battle we were just watching, Chris, between Perez and Veermans is 10 seconds behind Stockton. So the lead group, guys, is quite spread out, but of course we've got this great scrap for first position on what is now lap number 11.
Well, let's have a look at this battle. And we've got so many battles to watch. There's three of us, so we'll keep an eye on as many places as we can, because we've got Dave Farrow as well hunting down Christoph Schinkel, and he's bringing Jay Shepherd with him. Your top 10 then, it's Leonard, Phillips, Stockton, Perez, Veermans, Kemping, Alstein, Schinkel. Farrow will have a very brief look at, because we're going to have to stay with this battle for the lead. There is the battle for 8th. We'll come back to it. Let's get back to our leaders though, because we don't want to miss a single thing here, Guillaume, as they now make their way up to the start-finish line. 12 minutes on the clock, and it's 2 for the lead.
Thank you, Chris. Il nous reste 12 minutes, chers amis, avant le drapeau damier dans cette première épreuve. Et la bataille pour la victoire, elle fait rage sous vos yeux entre Maxime Leonard et Riley Phillips. 2 dixièmes un peu plus maintenant entre les deux leaders, à l'avantage du pilote belge au volant de la Flower Power numéro 50. Mais le leader du championnat, leader provisoire évidemment après les 3 premières manches, est sur son train arrière. Ils sont séparés par 3 dixièmes dans le 12e tour. Il reste un peu plus de 10 minutes 11 pour être précis avant le drapeau damier, et rien n'est joué entre les deux protagonistes de cette compétition. Pierre Stockton, le 3e homme sur lequel garder évidemment le 2e œil, puisqu'il est distancé de 4 secondes 8, mais à lui-même bon 7 secondes sur Nico Perez en 4e position. 5e place pour Yann Varemans devant Tom Kemping, Christoph Schinkel, Dave Farrow, Jay Shepherd et Axel Soyer. C'est notre top 10 provisoire pour l'instant, mais la bagarre pour la victoire, on va garder évidemment les 2 yeux rivés dessus jusqu'au terme de cette épreuve. C'est entre Maxime Leonard et Riley Phillips, alors que plus loin vous avez Varemans à l'écran. Très très belle bagarre là-bas entre le pilote belge et Tom Kemping, les 2 pilotes belges là-bas qui se battent comme des chiffres pour la 5e place. Et attention, contact là-bas, et malheureusement Yann Varemans qui se retrouve en dehors de la piste. Malheureusement ça s'est pas passé comme prévu entre ces deux-là. De retour en tête avec Leonard toujours en tête sur Riley Phillips, accroché à son train arrière. Ça va se jouer vraiment dans les derniers instants sans doute. On en parlait il y a quelques minutes de cela avec Chris McCarthy. Quelle décision, quelle stratégie adoptée de la part de Riley Phillips, jouer placé en restant en 2e position dans les derniers instants de cette épreuve, et peut-être tenter le tout pour le tout dans un ultime dépassement en empêchant Maxime Leonard de contre-attaquer en vue du drapeau damier, ou bien prendre l'avantage dès que possible et tenter de creuser l'écart, ce qui n'est évidemment pas chose aisée sur un circuit aussi court que celui de Ledenon, où la moindre erreur peut se payer cash, mais où creuser l'écart évidemment relève de l'exercice assez difficile, et l'un comme l'autre en sous-traitance évidemment. 4 dixièmes entre Maxime Leonard et Riley Phillips à moins de 10 minutes du drapeau damier. Quelque chose me dit qu'on n'a encore rien vu dans cette bagarre pour la première place. Thank you, Chris.
Well, we've got Leonard leading, Phillips in 2nd place. I feel there's going to be a change very soon here, Henry. It looks like every time we come to this battle, Riley Phillips is just getting that little bit closer to showing his nose down the inside. And it looks in the way that Leonard is driving, especially out of that left-hander, that he's now starting to feel the pressure.
Yeah, so I suppose Riley Phillips is sort of looking to see where Leonard may have a weakness, where his line differs slightly for him. But of course, when 2 drivers are so evenly matched, it's all down to which one, if the leader makes a mistake or not. And Max Leonard's certainly not looking like he's going to make a mistake. And I think 1 or 2 drivers are having a few issues there. The number 24 of Alstein, Lancelot Alstein, I think, has retired, and so I think sadly is the number 272 of Richard Johnson, possibly now. And whether that's a technical issue or whether that's a track limits issue, I don't know. But certainly, 1 or 2 drivers, as we're getting towards into the second half, well into the second half of this race, now beginning to sort of run foul of the track limits. But look at this battle across start finish line. Guillaume and Chris there side by side, Riley Phillips outside of Max Leonard. Is he going to do it? I think he has, although Leonard's tucking up on the inside curve there. Is he going to squeeze him? Oh, good respect for Rich there for the 2 leaders.
Brilliant stuff there. Riley Phillips takes the race lead. Look at that. And Leonard now trying to get back down the inside. Well, it's a night of first, Henry, and there we go. First change of lead that we've had so far in this race since the vote.
Et vous l'avez vu, chers amis, il y a quelques instants, un peu plus d'une minute, changement de leader avec Riley Phillips qui a pris l'avantage sur Maxime Leonard. On en parlait, laquelle des 2 options le jeune Britannique allait-il prendre? C'était l'option de ne plus attendre, et on l'a vu à l'approche du virage du pont, ce virage-ci l'épingle au creux même du circuit à l'entame du premier secteur. Riley Phillips a décidé d'aller à l'abordage à l'extérieur du triple gauche. Magnifique manœuvre, magnifique manœuvre de dépassement de la part de Riley Phillips qui est allé à l'abordage en profitant de l'aspiration dans la ligne droite de départ et d'arrivée. Riley en a profité pour surprendre son adversaire Maxime Linard. Nous sommes à bord de la numéro 50 en deuxième position. Riley Phillips qui en a profité pour prendre l'avantage dans le troisième double gauche, ce troisième gauche donc, qui ouvre ce circuit de Ledenon avant de refermer la trajectoire et de sceller sa manœuvre à l'approche de l'épingle du pont, le virage numéro 5. Les positions sont inversées, 6 dixièmes entre Riley Phillips et Maxime Linard. Maxime qui a encore un peu plus de 5 minutes pour tenter de renverser la vapeur et d'aller reprendre la victoire. Il ne reste pas beaucoup de temps pour tenter de contre-attaquer évidemment. On s'attendait éventuellement à ce que Riley Phillips tente ce genre de manœuvre dans les derniers instants de cette épreuve, mais c'était peut-être aussi prendre beaucoup de risques, sachant que Maxime Linard n'est pas né de la dernière pluie et que le doublé non seulement n'est pas chaussé à cils, mais surtout quand vous ne disposez pas suffisamment de temps pour pouvoir vous rattraper en cas d'erreur, eh bien c'était peut-être trop de risques, en tout cas une option que Riley Phillips n'a pas voulu tenter. Il est passé devant, il est occupé à tenter de creuser l'écart avant de franchir le drapeau à damier pour de bon. Sera-ce la victoire pour Riley Phillips? Sera-ce la victoire pour Maxime Linard? Pourra-t-il contre-attaquer dans les 5 dernières minutes de cette première épreuve de la soirée? Réponse d'ici quelques instants, en tout cas 7 dixièmes, l'écart qui augmente légèrement à l'avantage de Riley en première position. Troisième place toujours dans les mains de Pierre Stockton qui a priori devrait terminer sur la troisième marche du podium devant Nico Pérez et Tom Kemping, votre top 5 provisoire. À l'écran, nous avons un peu plus loin la numéro 33 de l'un de nos nouveaux venus dans cette épreuve. Il s'agit de Jean-Baptiste Angelini, sous le couleur du team M3M, qui navigue pour l'instant en 12e position. Une bonne première épreuve de la part de Jean-Baptiste, que nous avions à notre micro avant le départ de cette épreuve. 11e place, avec 6 dixièmes de retard seulement sur Xavier Veil, juste devant lui. On est à bord de Jean-Baptiste Angelini, merci Andrew Phillips à la réalisation. Xavier Veil en 10e position. Une très très belle remontée de la part de Xavier Veil quand on se souvient qu'il était parti en tête à queue à la conclusion du premier tour et s'était retrouvé en 22e et dernière position. On sent que Xavier est à l'aise sur ce circuit de Ledenon. Et voilà la bagarre là pour l'instant entre Jay Shepherd et Jean-Baptiste Angelini. Est-ce que le Français nouveau venu de la compétition va pouvoir contenir les assauts de Jay Shepherd, un habitué évidemment de cette compétition virtuelle? Nous l'avions lors du championnat européen la saison passée. Nous l'avons avec nous depuis l'entame de la série, de la Winter Series, mis en place donc depuis maintenant quelques semaines. On est à bord ici avec Jay Shepherd qui va devoir s'en remettre à une nouvelle occasion pour peut-être doubler Jean-Baptiste Angelini et pourquoi pas Xavier Veil, puisqu'il n'a non pas une place, une mais 2 places qui lui tendent les bras, ce qui pourrait être potentiellement un top 10 au terme de cette épreuve. On le rappelle que le pilote en 6e position s'élancera en pole position pour la deuxième épreuve de par la règle du top 6 inversé. Pour l'instant, il s'agit de Ian Varemans en 6e position. Thank you, Chris.
Oh no, Xavier Veil's had another spin there, and I'll tell you what, he was almost collected there by Eric Steinlein, but what a shame, Henry, because I was just about to come to you and say how good of a recovery of this has been, but what a shame there, Xavier Veil under the pressure, and that now puts Jean-Baptiste Angelini in the top 10 and makes this battle very important between these two.
Oh no, Shepherd and Angelini getting crossed up there. And I was about to say, Chris, I was echoing your thoughts there about how well Xavier Veil, as Guillaume was so eloquently giving us the rundown in French there. While Xavier Veil was doing, he made a couple of moves and he moved into the top 10. But you said that Jay Shepherd likes to get his elbows out. I think that he's not on into it again. And I think neither Shepherd nor Angelini are going to be on each other's Christmas card list. I know it's only January, but February rather. But I mean, that was some very, very close, no quarter asked and none given. And have to see who's that? Is that the number 372 machine now getting into the mix there as well in that battle? Philippe Locriere, the Frenchman.
It's Eric Steinlein. The other one.
I do apologise. Steinlein trying to.
Ian Veremans is going to be the one to pick up reverse grid pole. The top 6 will be reversed for the second race. But Guillaume, Max Leonard, it looked as if one stage of Riley Phillips had escaped. Now Max Leonard is back. I think we're about to enter the final lap of the race. He's run a little bit wide there. But I'd say this battle for the lead is not over just yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're about to conclude lap 18 into 19 in just a few seconds. And now the pressure is on Riley Phillips. He closed the option 1 to go for the move quite early into that last stage of the race. He could have decided otherwise to wait for the last or penultimate lap to do so. But right now, this is up to Maxime Leonard. We are on board with him in second place. This is up to him. Try to switch positions if he can in the more than 3 kilometers or so before the end of this lap. But we know Riley, those two know each other quite well as well, the way they're both driving. And this is certainly not an easy track to overtake on. But we've seen quite a lot of maneuvers at the start of this race, but there's not a lot of time remaining for Maxime Leonard. And can he be close enough? I doubt it actually, that he can be close enough to try to go for the move 0.8 of a seconds down now as we're entering second sector. I think if Riley keeps all doors shut until the end of this lap, this will be another victory for him.
Oh, no, this doesn't look like it's going to end well. Jean-Baptiste Angelini, Eric Steinle, Xavier Ville, all together. 3 of them. Don't know if they're all going to make it out of this final section of corners, to be honest. Let's see if they do. Jean-Baptiste Angelini, that isn't going to end well, and it hasn't. He's gone into the back of Eric Steinle, and Xavier Ville has felt the brunt of it. Where is our race leader? Because very soon he's going to be the race winner. Here he is, Riley Phillips. Henry, what a drive this has been. He's held off the pressure from Max Leonard. Looks like he's going to take victory.
Well, there's that black car of Spitales not far in front of them, but we're only 2 corners from home. And I looking at Max Leinhardt, he did a very good first half of the lap. But I mean, this is Super Bowl Sunday, and Max Leinhardt is definitely into the last gasp Hail Mary area. But Chris, here he comes to take the win. Mr. Phillips.
Riley Phillips across the line will take the win for round number 4. Max Leonard will finish in second. 2 on the bounce then for Riley Phillips, and he will extend his championship lead over Max Leonard. It will go from 11 points to 16 points. Piers Stockton, damage limitation, that in 3rd place. Nico Perez will finish in 4th place. Tom Kempink in 5th place. But let's go to Ian Verrimans, because it's going to be a brilliant result for the Belgian driver here, Guillaume. He's going to take reverse grid pole.
Yeah, absolutely. Great result as well. One of the names, certainly one of the most surprising results in this race. Ian Verrimans in 6th. Hats off as well to Nico Perez. Once again, very strong performance from Nico. But I'd like to say that the man on your screen, Jean-Baptiste Angelini, is certainly the biggest surprise of this race. I don't know what you guys think, but you know, for his first race in the series and his first performance on the virtual Ledenon racetrack, he managed to finish 12th and was close to finish within the top 10. So, you know, great performance from him. And he seemed to be, you know, by the look of it, he seemed to be very comfortable and very on the pace all race long.
Fantastic stuff as we come across the line. Jay Shepherd, what a race he had, Henry. I mean, to walk away with 10th and all of that, I don't know how he's done it. Eric Steinle 11th, Jean-Baptiste Angelini 12th. Brilliant debut for him. Xavier Ville, a good result in the end, 13th place, considering where he was at one stage. Besson next, Richard Johnson, a good debut for him. In 15th place, but I tell you what, the gloves are going to be off around that 10th place spot, Henry, aren't they? With Jay Shepherd in that area as well, the likes of Xavier Ville, Jean-Baptiste Angelini, they're going to be going at it in that second race, surely.
Thank you, Chris. Chers amis, d'ici quelques instants, on est parti pour la deuxième épreuve de la soirée. 30 minutes sur l'horloge. Dès que les feux rouges s'éteignent, on sera parti. Ian Verrimans, 6e de la première épreuve en pole position, avec Tom Kemping sur la droite de votre écran, sur la gauche de la première ligne. Nico Perez, Piers Stockton, Maxime Leonard, Riley Phillips, c'est votre top 6 inversé. Les feux s'éteignent, on est parti. Excellent envol de la part de Ian Verrimans en vue aérienne grâce à notre drone. Nous sommes à bord du leader, en tête le numéro 25 devant Tom Kemping. Excellent envol de la part du pilote belge. Nico Perez parviendra-t-il à conserver la 3e place? Non, puisque Riley Phillips et Maxime Leonard sont emparés de la 3e et la 4e position. Superbe envol, et attention, ça s'accroche de tous les côtés avec Jay Shepherd qui est parti en tête à queue malheureusement, qui va dégringoler jusqu'en queue de peloton. Ça se touche dans tous les sens. Malheureusement, nous avons un autre pilote en difficulté là-bas. On va s'identifier de qui il s'agit. Un 3e pilote encore qui va jouer les agriculteurs à l'extérieur du virage numéro 5, l'épingle du pont. Alors qu'en tête, ça se bat déjà très très fort entre Maxime Leonard et Riley Phillips. C'est la bataille pour la 3e place et pour la tête du championnat potentiellement. Excellent envol. Et Ian Verrimans en tête du peloton. Il a conservé l'avantage de sa pole position devant Tom Kemping. À votre écran, sur votre image, Maxime Leonard qui prend l'avantage, ça se touche, accrochage entre Maxime Leonard et Riley Phillips, et Maxime Leonard qui miraculeusement parvient à conserver le contrôle de son Evo 3 et à peut-être garder la 3e position. Riley Phillips a dégringolé en 7e position, mais miraculeusement également est parvenu à rester sur la piste sans partir en tête à queue. Alors que nous avions un autre pilote, je pense que c'était Axel Soyer, semble-t-il, qui a perdu le contrôle. Non, c'était Nico Pérez, pardon. Nico Pérez qui a perdu le contrôle également de son niveau 3 et qui a dégringolé en 10e position. Quel premier tour, chers amis, quel premier tour, ça se bagarre, ça se touche malheureusement aussi à chaque virage de ce circuit de Ledenon. Et nous avons des coupages de circuit d'ailleurs, de franchissement de limite de la piste avec Ian Vermans qui est en train de perdre pied également. Que s'est-il passé pour Ian Vermans? Jesus, guys, what just happened?
What is going on? All three of our championship leaders, something happened to all of them, but somehow one of them is leading at the end of the first lap, and his name's Max Ledenon. Tom Kemping is in second. Axel Soyers is third. Poor old Ian Vermans was facing the wrong way coming out of the final corner. Not too sure what happened to him. That Riley Phillips is in fourth. Piers Stockton was the one that got caught out the worst in terms of our championship leaders. He is now 7th, just behind this. He's about to dive down the inside of Philippe Loniquet. We are looking at Riley Phillips going around the outside of Jean-Baptiste Angelini. But what a hectic start it's been, Henry. All three championship leaders in the wars.
Yeah, I mean, coming down to turn 5 on the opening lap, I think it was as Max Leonard, he tried desperately to, he got crossed up, tried desperately to not hit Riley Phillips. And turned the car sideways, and Phillips sort of went off wide in sympathy. So that cost him time. And I saw Xavier Ville, and I think it was the number 82 of Perez getting all crossed up, and there were one or two drivers using some very judicious, liberal use of track limits through the first couple of corners, and Vermans as well. So he's down into 14th position, and a little tap for second place there is Riley Phillips being maybe a little bit impatient. You can see Leonard sort of pulling away a little bit, and he wants Kempenick out of the way in that number 7 car, the Belgian flag on the headlights of that Volkswagen Beetle there. But Andrew Vermans outbraking himself into turn number 14. That's going to give Phillips a run up the hill towards the start-finish line, and Phillips should be in the second place, but now the chase is on, and those two dark blue livery cars, as the MTM teammates, that's Jean-Baptiste and Soyers. It's always a bit scuffle turn 1, guys.
Just a little bit, Riley Phillips having to muscle his way through, but has now run wide. I think a slap on the wrist for Tom Kemping there. That was far too aggressive, in my opinion, to be cutting across Riley Phillips like that. But I think he has noticed what he's done, and he's now allowed Riley Phillips back through as Axel Soyers is now going to try and get past him. Jean-Baptiste Angelini having a fantastic debut there in 5th place. He's got Piers Stockton trying to come down the inside. They're 2 by 2. Sawyers down the inside of Kemping, and then Stockton down the inside of Jean-Baptiste Angelini. And yes, oh my God, indeed, Guillaume, as now Piers Stockton goes past Tom Kemping, and he's into 4th place, and he's picking his way through this very quickly indeed. The next on his list, Guillaume, is going to be Axel Soyers.
Yeah, what a start of a race. Quel début de course, chers amis. 5 minutes presque dans cette seconde épreuve de la soirée. Et Maxime Linard, eh bien, qui en a profité pour se porter en tête avec déjà 4 secondes, 5 secondes désormais d'avance sur Riley Phillips. Et le pilote britannique qui n'a malheureusement pas eu cette chance de pouvoir s'infiltrer dans le peloton de tête et de prendre la poudre d'escampette, puisqu'il a dû donc se défaire du trafic à coup de portière évidemment, parce que la compétition depuis le début, depuis l'extinction des feux, est très très serrée. Ça joue les coudes, ça joue les portières, et certains des protagonistes l'ont payé cher malheureusement, comme Ian Vermans, le poleman, qui est parvenu à garder la première position durant seulement un tour, l'espace d'un tour, puisque avant même de franchir la ligne droite de départ et d'arrivée pour boucler ce premier tour, eh bien, il partait en tête à queue. Était-ce une faute de pilotage? Était-ce un contact? On n'a pas bien vu, malheureusement, ça s'est allé très très rapidement, mais conséquence, eh bien, Ian Vermans s'est retrouvé en 13e position dans le classement. D'autres pilotes, malheureusement, n'ont pas eu la même réussite, ont été tout aussi malchanceux que Ian Vermans au premier tour. Jay Shepard qui a rétrogradé en 11e position. Nico Pérez qui avait terminé à une excellente 4e place lors de la première épreuve a dégringolé en 9e position. Ça a permis à certains évidemment de se distinguer. Nous sommes ici à bord de... On va essayer d'identifier d'ailleurs de qui il s'agit, mais je pense que c'est la bataille entre Mathis Besson et Jean-Baptiste Angelini qui est en 7e position. Oui, Axel Soyer, voilà, vous avez à l'écran Axel Soyer qui est en 4e position, en grosse bagarre avec Pierre Stockton en 3e place, poursuivi plus loin derrière sur votre écran par Tom Kemping, 5e, juste devant. En 6e position, le numéro 372, il s'agit bien évidemment de Philippe Loriquet, et le nouveau venu dans cette épreuve, Jean-Baptiste Angelini, qui fait du très très bon boulot. Il a manqué le top 10 de peu, 12e lors de la première manche, et ici il est occupé à se refaire une santé. 6 dixièmes de retard sur Philippe Loriquet en 6e position, 7e place donc pour Jean-Baptiste Angelini. Ça se bat à tous les étages dans cette première partie d'épreuve. Et que ce serait, mon Dieu, mais Max Liénard est peut-être celui qui en a le mieux profité. 4 secondes de mieux sur Riley Phillips. La bataille est lancée entre les deux protagonistes de la première épreuve du championnat. Riley qui va devoir se cracher dans les mains pour tenter de refaire son retard après ses ennuis des premiers tours. Mais tout profit donc pour Max Liénard de peut-être creuser cet écart de plus en plus et aller chercher la victoire qui peut-être lui tend les bras. En attendant, on va suivre de très très près également la bataille plus loin qui nous occupe entre Christophe Schinkel, c'est plus loin dans le classement, avec Steven Spitals, qui malheureusement n'a pas connu la première épreuve qu'il aurait voulu en termes de résultats bruts. C'est la bataille pour la 14e place. Et un accrochage là-bas, semble-t-il. Est-ce que c'est Steven Spitals qui vient de... effectivement, malchance à nouveau pour Steven Spitals, le numéro 149, qui a perdu légèrement le contrôle, qui a franchi, traversé la piste juste avant le triple gauche, et il a perdu quelques positions dans l'aventure. Il est 17e pour l'instant. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, and there's not good news at all for Jean-Baptiste Angelini, as you can see, because he's being blocked at the same time by Philippe Loriquet in 7th place. Jean-Baptiste seems to be faster than Philippe at the moment, but that's good opportunity as well for Jay Shepherd, as you guys said. And we're on board with the British driver, as he might want to try something on the inside of the triple left. The first part of this beautiful Ledenon track. He's not going through yet, but maybe down on the braking zone of corner number 5, we shall see what's going to happen, but around the outside maybe from Jay Shepherd. But there's so many cars actually in the same picture trying to get in front of one another, and you can see Jean-Baptiste going through, and it goes through actually Philippe Loriquet, who's not able to, is going out as well. Oh, that's got a big mistake from Loriquet, and he came close.
That was close.
Oh my god. Oh, we just saw that on the corner of the picture over there, and oh my god, we almost had a disaster once again. And Jay Shepherd, who had so much bad luck through the championship so far, as you said, Chris, he's out there, fighting for position, but sometimes it just doesn't go his way. Once again, this time around, he was lucky not to get caught.
I tell you what, that was almost Philippe Loriquet, Henry, going, I don't want to be in his way anymore. Like, go through. I will quite literally move out of your way and let you go after Jean-Baptiste Angelini.
Well, sometimes discretion is the better part of valour, and he lives to fight another day. And you said that the driver was spinning off there, unfortunately. Speaking of spinning, is that Merriman's again?
Yes.
It's Merriman's. I was going to say, he had made his way back up to 12th, but the pole man is going to be bitterly disappointed at the end of this one. So having whether it was he threw it away himself or whether he was assisted in a couple of his off-track excursions, he's going to be very, from pole position down to the tail end of the field now, down to 13th.
Richard Johnson was trying to go around the outside of Besson, but the gap has opened up. Oh no, they're not going to go three-way, are they? Ian Verrimans, don't do it, mate. Don't do it. It's not going to work. He's going to go for it anyway, and somehow they've all come out of it. Well, Ian Verrimans went past Richard Johnson. That was the only change that happened, but I don't know how they all made it through. And Matisse Besson hangs on to 10th place. Oh no, Ian Verrimans has been spun round. Innocent victim there. Richard Johnson has turned him round and said goodbye, mate, and he's off. So Richard Johnson, Ian Verrimans, nothing he could do there. What a shame, because for a few corners that was fantastic racing, Ian.
Yeah, such a shame once again for Ian Verrimans being put out of contention actually as he was starting from pole position. But
this is that the number 404 car of Schinkel, just making a pit stop. Christopher Schinkel going into the pits, that and possibly a drive-through penalty for track limits.
Perhaps it was good spot. Yep, Christoph Schinkel was into the pits. Shame for him, because he's had a great round tonight. Oh dear, there goes a move from Ian Verrimans down the inside of Eric Steinlein. And I tell you what, I mean, he doesn't give up, does he, Henry? I mean, Ian Verrimans, anytime he's been turned round, he's come back and made a move straight away. So you've got to hand it to him wherever he finishes tonight. He doesn't give up.
Yeah, and always.
Oh, no.
And that was Steinling.
Not again.
Just tapping him wide. And Ian Valarez just cut of despair, run us over in this one.
For fifth place though between Axel Sawyers and Nico Perez. Nico Perez, Henry looks to try and be lining up a move now. He's been pushing him for a while, but there's only probably 2 more laps for him to now make this move. So you'd say he's going to have to make it very soon.
Yeah, it's coming across the start-finish line there. Perez was literally tucked right underneath the rear spoiler of Axel Sawyers' car. Coming up the hill now towards turn number 6. He's going to try at the outside line coming into the corner. He's going to try and cut underneath him coming into the second apex at turn 7 at the Virage de Cormier. And there he goes up the inside. Now, Sawyers runs a little bit wide on the exit. That's going to affect his straight line speed down the hill. Good racing. This is what we wanted to see. We've got some great racing at the front. We've been laughing and joking a bit about the somewhat hectic racing in the middle of the pack, but the midfielders showing that they can race very, very skillfully and close together as well without, shall we say, swapping pace.
Well, here's Tom Kemping. He's trying to chase down Piers Stockton. This is another that we have to keep an eye on. So this is our battle for third, and Piers Stockton will be starting to feel very nervous. We're on the penultimate lap of the race. Leonard is leading by just over 2 seconds, or just under 2.5, shall I say, from Riley Phillips. But we've got a battle for third potentially developing. We've certainly have the battle for fifth on, with Nico Perez trying to get past on Axel Sawyers. It carries a 2 points difference with it, so it's worth fighting for. Then we have that battle for 10th place between Mathis Besson. Then we have behind that Richard Johnson, and Philippe Loriquet is just behind that as well. But very shortly our leaders are about to make their way onto what will be the final lap of the race. Max Leonard shortly working his way down to the final few corners. But here's Nico Perez versus Axel Sawyers, Guillaume.
Une dernière bataille à suivre, c'est celle qui nous occupe sur les écrans avec Axel Sawyers et Nico Perez dans leur dernier tour également. 19e et dernier tour entamé pour nos deux protagonistes. Et pour l'instant, la bataille, la 5e place toujours dans les mains de Axel Sawyers. Nico Perez n'a plus que 3 km et des poussières pour tenter de prendre l'avantage, aller nous déloger de ce top 5, peut-être au freinage de l'épingle du pont là-bas en élargissant sa trajectoire, mais ça ne passe toujours pas pour Nico Perez malheureusement, qui tente de sortir mieux juste entre lui et le vibreur à l'extérieur de la piste, mais Axel Sawyers qui pour l'instant ferme toutes les portes. Alors que le chrono est arrivé à son terme, nous sommes de retour avec notre leader et futur vainqueur certainement, Maxime Lénard, qui sera parvenu à contenir les assauts de Riley Phillips juste derrière lui, alors que derrière Nico Perez, 6e position, est passé devant Axel Sawyers. Est-ce qu'on a eu le changement de position? Did we have a switch of positions, guys, for 5th place? As it seems, Nico Perez up in 5th place, I think,
No.
or did we just miss it? No.
Axel Sawyers is still there, but there's a gap, but I think Leonard's about to take the win here,
Yeah.
Guillaume.
Indeed, so still in 5th and 6th place. In the meantime, this will be victory. There he goes, victory for Maxime Lénard. Magnifique victoire pour Maxime Lénard, le pilote du Belgian Very Club et de M3M au volant de cette magnifique 50 Flower Power. 4e victoire de la saison, la première de la soirée pour Maxime qui l'emporte avec 2 secondes 7 de mieux sur Riley Phillips. 3e position pour Pierre Stockton, 4e place pour Tom Kemping et Axel Sawyers. Le voici à votre écran qui va franchir la ligne d'arrivée en 5e position, avec 3 secondes de mieux sur Nico Perez qui a sans doute commis une petite erreur et qui va devoir se contenter de la 6e place. Plus là derrière, la bataille fait encore rage là-bas et touchette entre Mathis Besson et s'agissait-il de Philippe Loriquet? Effectivement, Mathis Besson qui a été poussé en dehors des limites de la piste par Philippe Loriquet. Alors, ça va être très très serré jusqu'au bout et malheureusement nous avons Richard Thompson qui se fait pousser en dehors de la piste dans le dernier virage avant la remontée pour la ligne d'arrivée. Et voici donc, chers amis, cette 2e épreuve de la soirée qui se conclut de manière un peu chahutée pour certains, mais victoire pour Maxime Lénard. Et d'ici quelques instants, on va vous faire donc le rundown complet de cette classification avant de passer aux traditionnelles interviews d'après-course. Oh, and what just happened there? That's what I call a Hanover race.
Well, there you go. And ended with a bang, didn't it? There you go. That's all we can say about that one. That's the race over. Top 3 in the championship, top 3 on track.